Welcome to News You Missed, where we picked up the headlines the world left face down on the coffee table. Let's start with today's international circus. Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban says he's preparing a US-Russia peace summit, possibly in Budapest. The Kremlin says it's ready. Trump calls it progress. Everyone else calls it we'll see. If this handshake happens, it'll be the biggest since the Cold War. Budapest should probably stock up on champagne and translators. Trump and Putin also shared a lengthy phone call, congratulating each other on Middle East peace progress. They'll send advisors to meet next week. Could be diplomacy, could be an ego summit. Two leaders, one hotline, no mute button. And next up, Trump will also meet Ukraine's President Zelensky in the Oval Office tomorrow. Handshake 2.0, new cast, same plot. Let's hope this episode ends without subpoenas. And the World Health Organization warns that disease outbreaks in Gaza are still spiraling out of control. Months of siege have collapsed sanitation and hospitals. Cholera and dysentery are spreading fast. Aid groups say time's running out. Gaza's health system doesn't need medicine anymore, it needs a miracle. And Trump raised the stakes again, telling reporters that if Hamas keeps killing, the US will have no choice but to go in and kill them. Strong words in an already boiling region. Foreign policy or action movie trailer, hard to tell. And Israel confirmed new airstrikes in southern Lebanon, saying they'll hit Hezbollah positions after rocket fire across the border. Another front opening in slow motion. It's not a war yet, but it's definitely auditioning for the role. I'm sure that Israel just needs to strike something. And Turkey is sending forensic experts to Gaza to help locate hostage remains. Ankara says it's humanitarian aid. Critics call it symbolic politics. The region's new motto, dig, don't talk. In the Caribbean, the US Navy hit a suspected drug-running boat off Venezuela, killing 6. Moments later, President Maduro announced he's mobilizing a militia of millions. Tensions are up, tourism is down. Not exactly the cruise season they advertised. And China says it's ready to work with the US to solve trade issues and avoid fresh tariffs. Diplomatic olive branch wrapped in bubble wrap. Translation, please stop tweeting about us. And finally, the CIA has been accused of meddling in the 2020 election, citing a FOIA email between former Intel chiefs. The internet's already on the case. No subpoenas, just memes. Now over to financial funnies and market roundups. Money never sleeps, it just panics. Here's what the markets did whilst you were still refreshing your balance. Gold just shattered every chart on earth, topping $4,300 an ounce and pushing its total market value past $30 trillion. Central banks now hold more gold than US Treasuries for the first time since, drumroll, 1996. The world's richest countries apparently trust shiny rocks more than Washington's promises. Forget crypto bros, this is the original digital gold but heavier. Next up, Morgan Stanley suggests investors go 60% stocks, 20% gold and 20% cash. Diversify or die trying. Translation, panic, but make it balanced. And across the pond, the Bank of England capped individual stablecoin holdings between $13,000 to $27,000. Officials call it a temporary stability measure. A calm tone for a quiet panic. So much for financial freedom, even if your crypto has a speed limit. Next up, banks take a bath. US bank stops, Zion's Jeffrey's Western Alliance fell hard this week. Traders blame tariffs, tight liquidity and bad vibes. Down 7 to 11% and still dropping. When Wall Street sneezes, regional banks catch pneumonia. Over to debt and deficit. America's budget deficit narrowed slightly this year thanks to tariff revenues, but debt payments hit historic highs, short-term relief, long-term hangovers. It's like paying one credit card with another and still calling it strategy. France markets are in freefall amid a political meltdown. Meanwhile, the EU is backing Italy in a pasta war against US tariffs, up to 107% on spaghetti imports. Tensions are boiling over, Europe serving revenge alla dente. And the Bank of England warns that AI-driven trading could spark a stock market bubble. Algorithms might be too excited for their own good. Even the robots have FOMO now. And down under, the ASX slipped 0.4% while gold miners railed. Macquarie surged 5% after a $62 billion data center sale. Energy stocks tumbled 1.6%. Economies jumpy, unemployment up, RBA likely to hold rates. The kangaroo economy, it bounces but still flops. And BRICS under pressure. Trump warned a 10% tariff on anti-American BRICS nations, calling it the bloc an attack on the dollar. Tense global standoff, everyone's holding their breath and their currencies. Trade diplomacy by tweet is back on the menu. And in Vietnam, they target 6.5 to 7% GDP growth and a per capita income of $8,500 by 2030. Export machine still humming, socialism with a side of capitalism and a dash of success. And in Iraq, they recorded a $4.5 billion surplus in the first half of 2025, launching a $17 billion rail project expected to create 1.6 million jobs. Cautious optimism amid OPEC tailwinds. Infrastructure Week finally found an address. And in Zimbabwe, the IMF praised Harare's fiscal discipline, inflation near zero, gold output rising. Progress tempered by $12 billion in debt. The economy's back on its feet, but still limping. And FYI, the RV is not happening this week. Don't get scammed, don't listen to the hype, and there are no QFS wallets, ledgers, accounts or cards that exist. Do not get scammed. Be on your head. And over to crypto carnage. Bitcoin plunged below $109,000 after a record $19 billion liquidation event. Altcoins followed, led by Solana and XRP. Market fatigue deepens. Investors call it buying the dip. Therapists call it denial. And gold-backed tokens explode. PAXG on Binance spiked to $5,106, liquidating short sellers in minutes. Even digital gold, BNY Mellon says it's building the pipes for a future US stablecoin system, but not mining its own yet. Old money's getting new plumbing. And regional banks hit new low amid credit fears, dragging crypto with them. When TradFi catches a cold, Bitcoin gets the flu. And Fed Governor Michael Barr warns the US must avoid turning stablecoins into systemic risks. Translation: the Wild West is getting a sheriff. And crypto goes mainstream. $5 billion payment giant ACI Worldwide adds Bitcoin to its global platform. Crypto just got a loyalty card. From gold fever to crypto chills, that's your market mayhem. And now it's time for Hackers Corner, the part of the show where your antivirus weeps quietly in the background. First up, Adobe's Perfect 10, and not in a good way. The US Cybersecurity Agency CISA just flagged a 10.0 severity flaw in Adobe Experience Manager. A single debug page can hand over remote code execution, no login required. Attackers are already exploiting it, and thousands of systems are still unpatched. Hackers call it Christmas. Adobe should rename it Insecurity Suite. And Operation Zero Disco, hackers turned a Cisco Zero Day CVE 2025-20352 into a Linux rootkit dropper before the patch even dropped the backdoor's universal password. Disco. Funky name, terrifying exploit. Nothing says 70s party like unauthorized root access. Authorities seized a $15 billion crypto crime ring this week, one of the biggest busts in blockchain history. Officials say the syndicate laundered funds through mixers, NFTs, and decentralized shell companies. Expect panic in a few Telegram groups. Blockchain may be transparent, but criminals still can't read the fine print. Over to the magic rootkit trick. Researchers found a Linux rootkit called Link Pro that hides itself using eBPF. Basically, an invisibility cloak for servers. It spreads through Docker images on Jenkins system, waking up only when triggered by a secret magic packet. Hackers, reportedly North Korean, just used Ethereum smart contracts to hide malware. It's called ether hiding, and it costs just $1.37 in gas fees to update the payload. Nearly impossible to remove crypto's first malware subscription plan. And if all this sounds terrifying, Georgetown University is offering a cybersecurity's master's, complete with virtual sample class. And to be fair, guys, me and my son started the Harvard University course in cybersecurity for free. So I would recommend you go and do free courses and get yourself the knowledge that we all will need in the future. But if you need things simplified or you've got simple questions, come over to my Patreon, where I will give you the latest hacks, scams and cybersecurity breaches and how to stay safe online. And now to the part of the show where the headlines come with circuit boards. Let's talk robots. First up, Google's self-driven arm Waymo is taking its robo-taxis to London in 2026, its boldest international expansion yet. The fleet will use electric Jaguar I-Pace SUVs run by Nigerian mobility firm Move and tested through Waymo's Oxford Engineering Hub. Safety drivers first, full autonomy later, assuming British regulators say cheers. Left-hand traffic, centuries-old roads and London's cabbies. What could possibly go wrong? If these robot cars survive Piccadilly, they would deserve voting rights. Next up, Apple's next big thing, a tabletop robot built in Vietnam in partnership with Chinese EV maker BYD. It's part of Apple's new smart home lineup. Think iPad on a swivel arm that follows you around the room. Launches 2027. Siri finally gets a body. Great. Now even your assistant can roll its eyes at you. Guys, this is really interesting. I feel like I'm painting a picture of the future. I definitely saw it. And it's quite striking that a lot will be coming to London and a lot of changes will be happening. And Keir Starmer did say that we are going to be the AI Central Hub. And next up, China's robot empire installed 54% of all its industrial robots worldwide last year. And Morgan Stanley says homegrown firms, Innovance and Geek Plus are the ones to watch. Innovance makes the drives. Geek Plus handles warehouse automation for brands like Walmart and Adidas. The market doubling by 2028. The robots are cheaper, faster, and they don't need lunch breaks. So, the quick hits in robotics. Let's speedrun the rest of the robotic uprising. Tesla's partner, Sanhuna, landed a $685 million actuator order for the Optimus humanoid. Germany's Neurorobotics opened a robot gym because even machines need leg day. MIT and Toyota built an AI system that generates millions of realistic 3D environments for robots to practice in. And Caltech launched a humanoid that deploys a drone from its own back. Diligent Robotics is taking its hospital bot, Moxie, to senior living centres. And Dexroy in London raised $165 million for warehouse AI. And Revolut Robotics built a robot that can both drive and fly. My opinion, humanity's getting replaced. And next up, the part of the show where the global chaos takes a coffee break and the headlines get a little weird. Legendary Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley has died at 74. Fans remembered him as one of the rock's loudest icons and probably the only man who could make Silverface paint look dignified. Heaven just got a little louder and a lot more. Next up, NBC News has cut its diversity and identity reporting teams, laying off 150 staffers. Executives say it's part of a strategic restructuring. Nothing says inclusion like excluding the inclusion department. Comedian Rob Schneider's ex-account, 2.2 million followers, suddenly went inactive. No reason given, either hacked, banned, or doing the world's quietest comedy bit. And a Belarusian singer was reportedly lured to Myanmar and murdered for organ trafficking. Even true crime producers looked at the script and said too grim. And a viral poll shows many Americans now believe the government is planning on a fake alien invasion to usher in a new world order. E.T. called he'd like to be excluded from this narrative. And former US National Security Advisor John Bolton has been indicted on 18 accounts under the Espionage Act for possessing classified material. He calls it overreach. Prosecutors call it Wednesday. You either die a hawk or live long enough to be charged like one. And Senator J.D. Vance slammed Democrats for holding the government hostage over Trump's fights. Congress should start selling popcorn. The drama is free. Virginia's politics heated up as Mieres accused rival Jay Jones of supporting political violence. If words could throw punches, this debate needs helmets. So, to recap, peace talks that might not happen, a gold rush without shovels, hackers named after disco, and robots that already know our passwords. That's the world this week. Slightly insane, perfectly consistent. I'm Demi. This has been the news you missed. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, if you missed it, we didn't. And if you want to join us on the Insiders Club and deep dive into the nitty gritty, every Wednesday and Saturday, we have great guests that come on like Derek Johnson, Josh Reed, Jason Q. We have Dr. Judy Mikovits, Dr. Brian Ardis, Scott McKay, you name it, we have them on and you can come and ask questions live. The link's in the description below. So see you over on the Insiders Club tomorrow, guys. But for now, Bye bye.